Good morning again. Welcome to ICT. Now, let us discuss the Module 4, Performing Mensuration and Calculation. So our objectives for today, select measuring tools in line with job requirements. Number 2, perform calculation needed to complete tasks using the 4 fundamental operations. And number 3, use calculation involving fraction percentage in mixed number to complete the work task. So let us start. So let us define the terms. Number 1, bandwidth. The amount of information that can be sent each second over a network connection. A bandwidth internet connection has high bandwidth. This is how to measure the information when we are using the internet. Number 2, bit. The most basic unit of information that can be stored in a computer. So bit is the language of the computer, that 1 or 0. Like in us, the language that we are using is English. So in computer, they only read 1 or 0. So I will explain that one later. Number 3, byte. A basic unit for storing computer information used for measuring the size of a document. A byte is usually made up of 8 bits. The written abbreviation is capital B. And number 4, capacity. The amount of information that can be stored on a computer or on a CD or floppy disk. So here in capacity, how many gig or kilobyte or megabyte can contain a one disk? So for example, in DVD can contain 4 gig, and for the CD can contain 700 MB. So can contain only 12 to 20 songs. Number 5, clock speed. The speed at which a computer works. So speed is how speed your computers, gaano ba kabilis ang iyong computer. So yun yung clock speed. It measure the speed. Next is DPI. DPI, dots per inch. A measurement of the ability of a computer screen or printer to produce a clear image. So if you see the image or the picture that you print is blurred, it is usually the printer is small or low. Next, gigahertz. Gigahertz is a unit for measuring computer information equal to 1024 megabytes. The written abbreviation is capital GB. Next, gigahertz. A unit for measuring sound waves, radio waves, and computer speed. So this is to measure the sound waves. Next, Mbps. As you observe, there are two Mbps, the small b and the big B. The difference of this one is the Mbps, the small b, they measure internet. They measure downloads and uploads. And capital MBPS is they measure the amount of data transferred or copied, or any files that copied into another files. So let us differentiate mensuration and calculation. Mensuration is a process of measuring and determining the value of length, width, thickness, weight, and the area of a surface of an object. While calculation is also a deliberating process that transforms and calculates one or more inputs into result and to determine mathematical in terms of numbers and amount. So calculation is there is a formula that must follow in conversion. Now let's move on to types of components and objects to be measured. First is memory. Is in internal storage areas in the computer system. The term memory identifies data storage that comes in the form of chips, and the word storage is used for memory that exists on tapes or disks. It could be internal or external. Next, data storage capacity. How much disk space one or more storage devices provide. It measures how much data a computer system may contain. Number 3, processor is an integrated electronic circuit that performs the calculations that run a computer. A processor performs arithmetical, logical, input or output, and other basic instructions that are passed from operation system. Video card is used to process image as the red be displayed on your monitor. A good video card can make a big difference in the quality of your graphics. So this is particularly important if you play games or work with photography and video. There are common units of measurement used in ICT in converting measurements. This unit is used in the thickness and sizes. On to digital storage unit of measurement. So ito yung sinasabi ko kanina na bit is 1 or 0. And then byte, 8 bits, and so on. Now let's move on to measuring instrument. So first, calculator. Portable electronic device used to perform mathematical calculations. Number 2, ammeter is an instrument that measures current. Number 3, multimeter, an instrument that contains ohmmeters, voltmeters, ammeters, and a variety of capabilities to measure other quantities. Next, ohmmeter, an instrument that measures resistance, basically ammeters that are connected to an internal battery with a suitable resistance in series. Okay, so that is for the lesson 1. So answer this question. What is the following means for? Number 1, byte. Number 2, capacity. Number 3, gigabyte. Number 4, mensuration. And number 5, processor. So you answer this in a one whole sheet of paper. Okay, so after answering that one, let's move on to lesson 2, carry out measurement and calculations. So here is the data storage. 1 kilobyte is equal to 1024 bytes. 1 megabyte is equal to 1,048,576 bytes. 1 gigabyte is equal to 1,073,741,824 byte, and 1 terabyte is equal to 1,099,511,777 627,776 bytes. Now let's move on how to convert decimal numbers to binary digits. So let's have one exercises. Number 1, convert 5 to binary. So first, you put the quotient and remainder on top, and then 5 over 2. So 5 divide by 2. So is 2, you put 2 on the top, and then 2 times 2 is equal to 4. So 5 minus 4 is equal to 1. So the 2 on top is the quotient, the 1 is the remainder. So just put 2 on the quotient and 1 is the remainder. So our answer in the quotient, let us bring down. So 2 divide by 2. So put 1 on top. So 1 times 2 is equal to 2. 2 minus 2 is equal to 0. So 1 is the quotient and 0 is the remainder. So again, let us put 1 on the quotient and 0 is the remainder. So again, you get 1, bring down, divide by 2. So 1 divided by 2 is 0. Take note, in converting binary digits, if you convert or you times 0 to a number, always the answer is 0. So 0 times 2 is equal to 0. 1 minus 0 is equal to 1. So the quotient is 0. 1 is the remainder. So again, you put 0 in the quotient and 1 in remainder. So, when the quotient is 0, you stop solving it. So next, let us get the remainder. So take note, let us get the remainder from the bottom to top. So the remainder is 101 is equal to 5. 5, the number where we divide it by 2, where we can start dividing. So in checking, so let us get 1, 0, and 1 is the multiplier. Now, let us get the result. In getting the result, let us start from right to left. So, the equivalent of 1 is 1. Just write 1 there. Next, let us get the equivalent of 0. So, 1 times 2 is equal to 2. In getting the equivalent of 1, 2 times 2 is equal to 4. So, that is the equivalent. Moving on, let's multiply the equivalent and multiplier. So, 1 times 1 is equal to 1. 0 times 2 is equal to 0. And 1 times 4 is equal to 4. So, this is the result. And last steps, let us add the result. 4 plus 0 plus 1. The answer is 5. So, the binary number of 5 is 101. Next, exercises. Convert 14 to binary. So, you total this one following the procedures that we are discussed while ago. Now, let's do the conversion. The problem is, how many 60 kilobyte GPG files can be stored on a 2 MB folder in your hard drive? So the given here is 1 kilobyte is equal to 1024 byte. First steps, let us convert 60 kilobyte into byte. So 60 is equal to 1024 byte divided by 1 kilobyte. Let us just put 1 kilobyte over the 1024 bytes so that let us cancel the byte from 60 and 1. So 60 times 1024 divided by 1 is equal to 61,440 bytes. Let us get the unit of byte because we already canceled the kilobyte. Next step, let us convert the 2 megabyte into byte. So, 2 megabyte is equal to 1,048,576 byte all over 1 megabyte. Again, let us put this one so that let us cancel the megabyte. So, 2 times 1,048,000 and 576 byte all over 1 megabyte. So again, let us put 1 megabyte so that let us cancel the megabyte. So now, the answer is 2,097,152 bytes. Next steps, you get the answer of letter B. 2,097,152 byte is equal to 1 megabyte all over the answer of letter A, 61,440 bytes. So you cancel the byte and then you times the 1 and 2,097,052 bytes divide by 61,440 is equal to 34.13 megabyte. So therefore, 34 files can be stored in 2 megabyte folder in hard drive. So that is how to compute the files can be stored in a hard drive. Here are some examples of conversion. So you answer these exercises, write in a one whole sheet of paper. You must follow the procedures on how to convert and how to compute binary numbers. Number 1, how many 750 MB files can be stored on a 4.3 GB DVD-R? You must compute from A to Z plus you interpret. So the score is 20 points as your performance task. So your written output, 40% of your score is you convert numbers into binary. Number 1, 28. Number 2, 37. You convert that one into binary following the procedures that we have discussed. All your activity must be written in a pad paper. Your activity is 3, composed of giving the meaning, conversion, and binary numbers. Okay, good luck for answering, and that is the end of our Module 4. Before we end, please subscribe Binget Delicacies.